All right, I can't believe they recorded the season finale to 2020 for this movie.
I can't believe that we're tearing ourselves apart, just like the people in this in this movie.
I can't believe there's not aliens yet.
Oh, don't worry, they're coming.
No,
The Galactic Federation.
Yeah,
proper into a hell of a year. All right,
Yeah.
guys, you guys ready? Here we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the nightcap. What's up, gentlemen?
Welcome back, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
So, the jingle cap's over. Getting ready to end 2020 with a bang. Metaphorically, hopefully.
Hopefully, not
Hopefully,
literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, not literally.
But
there is a meteor shower tonight, though.
I know, yeah. We went up there trying to see the the Christmas star.
Planets are aligned.
They realized I had no idea what I was looking at. They all kind of like
they weren't lined up.
You're like, that's it right there. No, that's just the point.
Oh, is that what it was? I don't even know. Yeah, I was probably staring at satellites. I was like, this is amazing.
It's so bright.
What are you guys drinking tonight before we
Like
get
Steve,
into
that's
our
the street light.
review?
I'm drinking high quality H2O from my cup from a Vegas pool party, which who the hell knows when that's gonna happen again. So
Okay,
well,
Nice.
yeah.
I'm drinking a IPA from the Coronado Brewing Company called
Nice.
Weekend Vibes.
Drinking a little white ale off Al's suggestion or review
How is
here.
it?
What is it? Einstock?
Yeah. Skull.
Stock. That's a cool name.
Yeah. Pretty good beer, too. All right, well, let's talk about this movie here, guys. Greenland, a Gerard Butler special, original.
I like it.
Let me break down the synopsis and let's get into our review because we were having a little bit of a heated discussion right before we started. So let's.
Some wrong takes by Rich.
Man, here we go.
I love the movie. Al hated the movie. I don't know what's going on.
I know that Al did hate Elf though for whatever reason.
Oh yeah,
That's neither here nor there.
He's our downvote.
He's our own South Pole Elf.
I love that movie. Just 15 minutes in the middle.
just the majority of the movie.
Just the majority, just the middle. Just take the middle out.
Whatever.
You don't need the middle. All right. Greenland is a 2020 American disaster film directed by Rick Roman Waugh and written by Chris Sparling. The film stars Gerard Butler, who also was co-producer, Morena Baccarin, Roger Dale Floyd, Scott Glenn, David Denham, and Hope Davis. The film follows a family who must fight for survival as a planet-destroying comet races towards Earth. Let's see here. I don't know as far as the details of the release of this film. The budget was $35 million, so not a very big budget. And I think you saw some of that production.
Oh no, I didn't.
But the box office, at least listed here, is 47 million. So that might have been like
Already?
a release. Yeah.
Oh wow, it just came out. Like I don't know if it's pretty much just
Streaming-
on demand.
Streaming's doing really well for some movies, man.
Yeah.
Well, you got to adapt to the times.
I don't know if those numbers are considered in with the box office numbers or how they do that, but let's talk about this movie here. So, and one of these disaster flicks into the world, giant comet hurtling towards Earth. What did you guys think of the story? I'll go ahead and kick it off.
I like it. I gave the story 6 out of 10. It, like you said, it didn't break any like new ground per se for a big disaster movie, but it was based on the Clark comet. Their fictional comet that's hitting Earth. And a little twist is that, certain people got notifications to be selected to go to the shelter based on the profession, which is this will happen in real life? Do you think they'll be looking for mortgage professionals? Just asking for a friend.
You get presidential alert.
You're like, oh shit.
Well, here's the thing: unless people are going to be paying for these houses in cash, you're going to need some money, right?
I know. Who's gonna do all these loans?
I don't know. It's a valid question. What did you think of the plot line here?
What I honestly
Just hit us with it, bud.
the same plot with every disaster movie. Just plug in a family and plug in the end of the world and let them get out of it and survive somehow. I mean, I actually gave it a 5 just because of that. It's 2012, Day After Tomorrow, Geostorm, different disasters, same plot. So
Okay,
I
but did any of those have Greenland involved?
now one had Canada.
Okay,
Which is
I
not
guess that's close
Greenland.
enough, huh? Yeah,
It's
whatever.
close enough. It's in the northern hemisphere.
And actually, I just noticed this with all these disaster movies. Apparently, the end of the world is always a good way to fix a relationship. Just saying.
Yes. I will agree on that point with which is kind of hinted to too. Is like as soon as you saw that they were on the rocks, I was like, I looked over at my wife. I'm like, I have a feeling they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it after all. They're gonna bring it closer together.
They're
And
gonna
you know
come
what? I was right.
together.
I don't really watch a lot of these disaster flicks because they are kind of cheesy. But this one I kind of had my eye on just because the whole comet, asteroid scenario. I think that's kind of, to me personally, it's kind of interesting. So I wanted to see how it play out. I think the last movie I watched like this was Deep Impact. Shout out to
I forgot about that one.
and Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it's trying to tell the story of a possible, what is it? Existence, apocalyptic event. So I mean, it's a pretty grand scale. I'll give it a 6 as well. But
what,
you're right.
what did they call it? What did they call it in the movie? An extinction level
Extinction
event?
level
Extinction level. That's
Yeah,
what I was looking
there we
for.
go.
Extinction level event. Yeah. So it was interesting. And the whole Greenland take. But I will say, in terms of scale too, and like you're talking about the presidential alerts and stuff like that, one thing that I thought was kind of missing from this was where was the leadership? There was no government leadership. You saw the news forecast.
Yeah.
Oh, they were on the plane. They were gone, Steve.
Yeah, apparently, like you never saw, like in all these movies, you always see like the scientist, right? He's trying to warn the world, or you see like, from the Oval Office, he's like, we got
the president doing a speech.
Yeah,
fellow Americans.
So
I'm
made it feel a
sorry.
bit smaller,
Yeah, I don't know if it came so quick because they said like it just came out. I don't know if I have to rewatch it. They say it just came out of nowhere. Now I know they said it came from another solar system. They kind of were kind of taken by surprise by it, so they're like, just like, oh shit, let's go.
Well, that's the other thing.
There's no time. Just send a text message.
How do you get taken surprise by a 9-mile-long meteor? Was it hiding behind the sun the whole time, and then all of a sudden it looped around? Like, pretty sure you could keep check. They found that big ass rock that supposedly that they think is a spaceship floating in our. It came into our solar system, I think, 2 years ago, and they're keeping an eye on it. So how can something like that big catch?
This is the reason why space is big. That's the reason.
It's infinite. Right? So maybe black hole through. I don't know. Who knows?
All right. Well, let's get into the production here, where I'm probably going to disagree with you guys a little bit on this. So I'll let you guys go do the good cop, and then I'll play the bad cop.
All right. Well, I'm the good cop then because I gave the production 19 out of 20.
Of course.
There you go.
Oh, of course.
There you go. Because and I'll take because of the special effects. There you go.
Brother.
All right. Because
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, because it didn't take away. I didn't see anything wrong with it. So whatever you say about the special effects, I'm going to rebut it because it didn't take me away from the movie, and it was
because you don't have the eye. I'll tell you why right now. You don't have that eye that I do. You know the. You know what I mean? I've developed a critical eye of doing all these podcasts.
Oh, did you now? Apparently I didn't. So, but
palette.
And that I just like all the production. I like the whole mass hysteria. Like I think they played that up very well. So yeah, 19 out of 20.
All right.
Steve, were you wearing your glasses when you watched this movie?
Not extras. I was wearing contacts. One of them.
Like, that explains it.
Maybe I should have taken them both out.
Something's wrong with it's really blurry. They should have fixed up the graphics. I actually gave the production a solid 20. I thought it was done well. Perfect. And like Al, I liked the graphics. I thought it was done good. I didn't take me away. I liked when it was raining rocks. And I like that scene at the end when you see the 9 Mile what was it, an asteroid or a comet? A comet?
It was a comet.
Yeah, come in and you're like, oh crap. I thought it looked really fucking cool.
See, well, this is where you guys are wrong because it didn't look that great. It looked very computer generated. In fact, I don't know if there was any a lot of very little real stunts in the movie to begin with. Outside of the scene when they fall out of the truck, and then maybe towards the end when they handed the bridge, most of it was computer generated. And even the scene, especially the ending scene when they come out of the bunker, I mean, it's total green screen. When they're staring at the wasteland, which is that entirely safe? I don't know. Whatever.
Well, they mentioned that it's been 9 months.
Yeah.
To me, yeah, they did. His beard grew. I saw that. To me, it was a little distracting. I'm not saying I hated it. And also to the soundtrack, the cinematography was okay, but pretty much throwaway. I think overall for score, I gave it 16.
Okay, so we weren't too far.
That's better than I thought you were gonna do.
Yeah,
we weren't too far apart.
Let's get into the acting here. Gerard Butler. He's kind of he's kind of riding this B-level movie wave, huh? Doing these action movies.
He's never disappeared off the scene. All the Olympus movies have fallen, and
yeah,
other ones. He's
inconsistent. Granted, it's been a long way away since he was King Leonidas.
Yeah,
But he's been staying in the eye, like the public eye. I mean, he's like Rich said, he had all those the Fallen movies, and now this one. Maybe this might be his comeback. I don't know.
He's making some money. He's keeping himself employed.
Yeah, I mean, obviously these movies are making something. So, but I thought his performance was okay. It's serviceable. He kind of plays that kind of generic role, along with some of the other characters here in this. But I think it's really just the trauma that they get put through, and then kind of seeing them pull that out. I felt like this had a little bit more, to me, emotion than some of the other movies I had seen. It wasn't so cardboard cut out. Maybe because the same way I criticized it earlier for being like kind of on a small scale, it's kind of what connected you a little bit more too, because you have more time instead of watching, generals fly around and talk about what they're going to do. You have to just follow this family and kind of connect with them, which we all can kind of relate to, except Rich.
Yeah. Like I gave the acting 22 out of 30. Butler was good, but for me the one that carried it was that Morena Baccarin. Her the way she played that distraught mother and all the emotion that she gave out was really well. You can really feel it, especially like the scene where they spoiler, they kidnap her kid. I think that one hit home. Pretty much that's the scene that hit home for in the whole movie, just because it was such on a personal level, while this was such a big like scale, and them like narrowing down to that, and then she took her out of the freaking freeway and just left her there in the side, like, we'll take care of your kid. And she was just like, lost her husband, lost her kid. You would think that she was probably just gonna take a header in the middle of the freeway. She's like, oh, that's it, it's over. So
yeah, it definitely takes you down to like those dregs of emotion, and then you're wondering how they're going to survive this. I mean, because deep down you kind of know subconsciously like they're going to make it through this somehow. But the trick, I think, for the storytelling, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves into the directing, but is to make you question that, right, and make you think like, shoot, maybe the hero isn't going to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel
there was times that I thought that.
Yeah, I feel like they did that pretty well during that whole sequence where she's, the kid gets kidnapped, she's left abandoned on the side of the road. The husband's he's over here by himself, and he's trying to fight off these guys, right?
Never
xenophobes.
Never thought it was.
and
not even once. I knew they were going to pull off. Come on, the one car that pulls her over and gets her in and save her help. Yeah, we're going to the airport where those guys went. Yeah, same airport. Yeah, hop in. Come on. There was no build up. There was no suspense. I mean, well, okay, there was build up. There was suspense, but I disagree with you guys on that part. That whole scene with the kidnapping of the child, to me, 100% predictable, all the way up to the point where that family picked her up, and they just happened to be going to Knoxville's airport as well. It was just
everyone was driving north, bro.
Yeah, everyone was driving to that airport because it's pretty much out now that like they were
trying to go to the army base, right? Because supposedly all the planes were leaving, but they didn't know where they were going.
Yeah, so everyone was already going that way anyway, because they heard through the chatter like, all right, we gotta get here.
Predictable for me. And
so you predicted that kid was gonna get kidnapped.
Directing too. Okay, before I start ripping on this, acting, I thought everybody did a solid job. 23. I mean, that's what I gave it for acting. Everybody did a solid job. And I didn't want to touch upon this because I want to talk about it with directing, but that whole child kidnapping scene did nothing for me. It annoyed me more than anything.
You made a fart sound with your mouth right now.
I totally did on a podcast. I regret doing that now. It just did nothing for me, man.
Yeah, well, you couldn't be more wrong in your take, but whatever.
Yeah, you're absolutely wrong. And there was
no heartstrings, nothing.
Jeez.
That kid was bawling.
The kid was
for his mama.
He was completely traumatized.
Yeah.
When Rich was like against the soldier, and he's like trying to say like, hey, they're not my parents. I was like tense on my couch, like, tell them.
Yeah.
But apparently Rich was like drinking soda pop, or I don't know.
making farting noises like
stupid kid. That was the worst part of the movie for me.
He went to the bathroom. Like, let me know when they get reunited. I'll be back. We'll warm up this microwave pizza right now. I'll be right back. All right.
Happened to find him in the tents. Happened to just get lucky with the doctor there. Hey, lady, what's your story? Come here. I mean,
well, okay. We're kind of drifting out of the performances now. Let's get into the directing. Go ahead, keep going. But we're definitely more in the directing.
Yeah, okay. I'll start with the directing. That whole thing. It was just so cookie cutter, so predictable. I get it. Tore at the heartstrings, kidnapped a child, but put a little more effort into the lead up. She got into her car, found her child, went to the front of the line like a screaming lady. How many other people are screaming about lost people and children? But she happens to go up to the front of the line, gets the guy's attention, who happens to be the head of the thing, and then he personally takes. The guy's a busy man. He personally takes her around to every tent to look for the kid. I mean, it's not believable for me. I mean, yeah, it could happen in a perfect world scenario, but too much, too cheesy, too.
So in your
too
alternate scenario, the kid gets kidnapped and they never see him again.
And
it's more of a reality.
You're rooting for the kidnappers.
No, I'm just saying, too predictable. Could have done better with the directing on that part. Could have put a little more snags and twists or something. Don't make everything so. Oh, I need a cookie. Here's your cookie.
Okay, well, look, I'm going to bring up actually a valid criticism to terms of storytelling, unlike Rich's.
Don't downgrade mine and say it's not valid. It tore at your heartstrings and you shed a tear.
Maybe. All right, at least I wasn't making fart noises. All right.
I know, you're too busy focused on the graphics. You're like,
very distracted. I had to take my glasses off. They were so horrible. But anyways,
I thought it was one contact.
In terms of the storytelling, one thing I will say I had a gripe on is the whole part about when they're in the back of that truck with Gerard Butler and that guy knows about, oh, there's a guy up in Osgood who knows the secret location of the Greenland camp, and he's taking us there. Like, that was pretty serendipitous.
It's convenient.
Very convenient. Serendipity, like you said.
Yeah, to be like, oh, okay, I just happened to run into the exact guy who knows the only secret, way to get to where I need to be. Like, that was pretty, yeah, whatever,
Just like
and if people did know the location, I'm sure there'd be tens of thousands of people there, just the same way they were at the base trying to get out.
Well, what did you guys get the directing anyway? Because you guys are pretty much pooping all over it.
I gave it 20.
Let me see here. No, actually, I give it a higher score than the acting. I give it 23.
Okay, yeah, I give the directing a 23 also because I think he did whoever the director. I don't even know who the director was on this one. I think
Fargo.
I'm not familiar with the work, but
what was that?
Fargo? John Fargo.
John Favreau.
John Favreau. No, that was Elf.
Oh, my bad.
It's Rick Roman Waugh.
Well,
is his name.
We saw how much this movie stuck with me.
Well, whoever the director was, I felt like they just did a very good job of moving this movie along, and just a great representation of like how shit quickly collapses.
Right.
When people are faced with like a huge dilemma like this. Like, I mean, people will turn into savages really quick. Really, really quick. I mean, shit. We saw this, March, April. All right. Mm-hmm. When people were literally fist fighting over toilet paper.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just going to say that. I saw more rioting in the streets in the last 3 months on TV than I did in this movie. And this was the end of the world. Like, there wasn't that much looting and rioting going on.
No, I wouldn't say that either, Rich.
Yeah, we saw people riot, storm a base, and then have a shootout with the soldiers, and then blow up a plane.
That's not rioting. That's just people panicking and trying to get to a plane.
You saw that in April?
No, I saw that in May.
No.
2020.
Yeah, no. Okay, so I stopped trying to be funny. So, like, yeah, man. Like, I mean, you could. Buddy. Yeah, I mean, you could see it. Like, so the director did a good job on that one. So I gave it a 23, respectable score.
Yeah, I give it the same. I thought he did a pretty good job. Like I said, other than that whole part about, like I said, him kind of running into that guy who just happens to know where, how to get to Greenland. Other than that, but I'll look at it. I mean,
for any of these movies,
they kind of had to keep the movie moving. You don't want it to be too long at that point. They were kind of, you knew where it was headed anyways.
Right.
So let's get into the final the end here for X Factor. Let me see here what I end up giving it. I think I end up giving it a 5. Yep, give it a 5. Okay. Like I said, I'm not really into these disaster type flicks, but I enjoyed this. And even this whole scenario too, I don't know, for comments and asteroids, all this stuff kind of appeals to me. It's just interesting because it is so unpredictable and there is stuff constantly going by us and you always hear about it, like, oh, something just passed by us the other night. You know what I mean? And you wonder if something was really coming, would we ever hear about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think they would, just because they don't want to panic anybody, even though Creepy Joe said Americans don't panic. Well, that was proven wrong. I mean, like I said, like back in March and April, people panicked. Like, people bought all the toilet paper, shelves were empty. So yeah, people panicked. So we probably wouldn't know about it. But X Factor, I gave a 10 out of 10. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Wow. 10 out of 10.
Because I liked it. It was I think it was a very I gave it a 10 out of 10 for X Factor because I think it was a very appropriate movie for this fucking year for 2020. This like I was kind of joking about it, like fuck man, this could be 2020 season finale. Like you never know.
Like those bumper stickers you see for the election, it's like giant meteor, right? Like everyone,
yeah, giant meteor for
2020.
president.
Yeah.
Like oh shit, well here we are. So yeah, so like yeah, such a I mean this is a I don't want to say perfect movie for the pandemic, but shit man, like we've been beat up this whole year, guys. So something like this to come out, and I'm like, yeah. To think people like, yeah, that could happen. Fuck it, why not? Let's do it.
All right, Rich, what'd you give in terms of X Factor?
I gave it a 3.
Oof.
Yeah, not my okay movie, entertaining. I liked it, but nothing stood out for me other than really cool scene at the end with the 9 Mile comet coming into the planet. So yeah, not my thing. Not my
so do you think maybe you see more of these types of disaster flicks? Maybe you just weren't as into it?
It's quite possible. I mean, I have seen them, and the funny thing is they're not my favorite movies, but I seem to watch them, which is kind of weird. It's one of those when they're on TV, I'll end up watching them. It's not like I'll go out and actually rent them like I did with this, but that's a different scenario. And I do watch them. I watched quite a bit of them.
I like this one too, just because like it was like I mean it literally was the end of the world. They didn't have a miracle at the very end where they shot up people to blow up the asteroid with Aerosmith singing in the background. Ooh. So they didn't do that. And it portrayed like a lot of people, like it portrayed the panic people, it portrayed the people that was going savage, and then it portrayed the people that was just partying.
Yeah,
like, fuck it, whatever.
That's a great point. Yeah,
that is. Yeah. I did like that they threw that.
Where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, right. They literally said an extinction level, a planet killer. They literally said a planet killer on TV is coming in 24 hours, and they had a countdown. You're like, well, shit, I'm gonna go party, drink, fuck, and that's it. I'm done.
I think we know Al's plan for New Year's this year.
Why not? Screw it.
Total scores. I'm not talking 2020. Total scores for this movie.
Oh, I gave it an 80 out of 100. I really enjoyed this movie. You, anyone who's there watching this, go rent it. I mean, it's definitely worth the rent.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Rich, what'd you give it?
I give it 71.
Oh, okay. I matched you. I was trying to give it a 71 too.
Oh, there you go.
I thought it was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it. That was pretty good movie. I'm not like a huge Gerard Butler fan and all these disaster movie flicks, but honestly, I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
For someone who wants to get their anxiety level up, or anybody who likes these type of movies, I do recommend it. Watch it. It's a good movie. It's just a couple things on it just bothered me, and that's all. That's just my opinion. But overall, it's a great movie to watch and be entertained by.
Yeah. Or if you're over 2020, and then if you watch this, and then you're gonna get your anxiety level up even more, maybe you shouldn't watch it. But
good point.
Yeah. I was just saying, people leave comments too below and see what you guys think.
Yeah.
Was it corny or to you predictable like Rich, or did you like it? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not deep in this genre to really have like a strong opinion on it. I didn't see 2012 or any of these other movies, so for me, I actually thought it was pretty good. So yeah, but it is what it is, and I think it's a nice cap to the end of the year in terms of movies go. So
yeah, man. All right, buds.
To Greenland. The 51st.
Cheers to the bunkers in Greenland. I'm gonna hopefully I get picked in the next round.
Yeah, next station, Greenland.